Hey y'all, how y'all doing? So what I'm gonna do is I'm getting glammed up this morning, so we can talk. Let's just talk. What's going on? What's going on? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Excuse me. I just moved in this place, and well, I shouldn't say that, but I just got in this place, so y'all just have to excuse because I'm still moving. I was gonna use this weekend, to finish moving, but I um, I didn't. So we can just rock it out, right? Rock it out, rock it out, rock it out. So, how did y'all like how did you like the Jaguar right reading? We can talk a little bit more about that. I actually sent it to her, um, because she watches everything. Believe it or not, she watches everything with her name. She Googles her name and she watches everything. I even left a comment on something she said this morning, talking about, oh, I miss Gooba, I miss Gooba, I miss Gooba. Like, sad. Like, really, it's sad. Mm, 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 mm. So, let me tell y'all what's going on. I got elected to go to a, in the middle of nowhere in Louisiana today and stay overnight. And I really don't want to, y'all. I don't want to do it but since my daughter wants to, we're gonna go ahead and go. We're gonna go ahead and go. So we can get ready and okay. And another thing I did. Okay. I just keep saying okay. I never really told my whole story of how I became Infinity Way. How did this happen? How did now I'm going into YouTube and I came up with an idea what I want to do with my platform, by the way, too. How did this happen? I never shared my story. I never shared the whole story, and maybe I'll see how it goes. It is a lot of paranormal normal stuff that happened. Um, it was crazy. How about that? Um, Now I'm at a point of I'm still feel weird about what happened. It's like, did all that happen to me? And how do you live afterwards? Like how can you live afterwards after what you saw, after what you endured? How can you move forward? Last night, I went to Kevin Gates' concert. Shout out to Kevin Gates. I went to his concert, and I just back in the, like if this was 4 or 5 years ago, I would have been so hyped in there, but it felt totally different. Okay, so I'll be right back. It felt totally different. Now, while I'm talking, if you got oily skin, don't do this. This is for like combination or dry skin. Like, don't do this if you oily. Straight up. Old school. So I went to the Kevin Gates concert and only lasted 10 minutes. I saw something else. I saw some of my family. I got in there because my family was the promoter or whatever, you know. And that's the only reason why I went, because my family. And I'm in the point of spiritual out in the spiritual warfare, at the spiritual part, trying to, you know, fit back in with my family. And I noticed that when I got there, some of my family was in VIP, and I wasn't, but I had great seats. I had front row. I had front row seats, like front row, standing floor. And but I know why they did that. And I really maybe will name this, and maybe Jaguar will watch this too, because I've been, and Young Pharaoh, have been through what both of them are, you know, nature, all these people. I've been through what they've been through. And I'm gonna explain it. She felt that maybe if she probably put me in VIP, this is what I felt empathically. If I would probably embarrass the family because of me speaking truth. You know, I'm gonna describe the whole story. So that's a backlash on my part. And that's how my family feels. Like, you know, you will lose kin. We probably, you know, we don't want you there. You know, you'll probably start off, and that's on me. And I'm gonna describe why she did that. But it hurts. It hurts this morning. It hurt last night, but then I didn't cry about it. I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna eat it. The funny part is, if you go to my Facebook, everybody check my Facebook out. I do all my readings on Facebook. I'm gonna start doing my YouTube readings on pop culture, like I did on Jaguar. So this channel is for pop culture readings. You know, speak how I want to speak, because I can't really speak how I want to speak on Facebook, because my family's on there. They don't really come to YouTube. But I felt so embarrassed. By the way, I need to tap. Revolution. I'm with Ultra and Alta and went book wow. And I'm gonna describe why. So this is me putting on makeup, y'all getting to know Infinity Ray, me giving y'all the story. And I can look at the time because I really have to go. All right. So what I'm looking for, I'm gonna be throwing stuff away at the same time. Y'all may see a bra slip. I don't care. I'm cute. So I'm so tired, y'all. It's the hardest part for me is the makeup. I hate makeup, bro. I hate it. I mean, I love it, but I hate it. And people be like, well, if you're so spiritual, are you makeup? It's mine. People have art. This is my art. This is how I feel like I express my art is through my makeup, you know? So, y'all just seen bras everywhere. I was looking for something, but I don't think I need it. And if I can't find it. Okay. So, yeah, I'm from Louisiana. Born and raised. Born and raised from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Right? Home of Bootsy. Home of NBA Youngboy. Home to a lot of people. Van Lathan. Home to Big Baby. Now, home to national champions of LSU. I had to put that down there. I had to put that up there, right? So, yes, we are. So, one second. This is perfect. I can do what I want to do. It's like I have OCD and I have to do it. But I did. I need to put this under here. Everybody's like, now I feel better. Okay. So, I hope that, yeah, excuse me. So, I'm home. So, born and raised in Baton Rouge. I don't really like to talk. I'm over my childhood. I don't want to talk about that part. So I'm going to talk about the spiritual part growing up. I grew up Catholic, of course. Growing up Catholic was very interesting. So yeah, I said Baton Rouge, but my family is from this country town in Maryland. My childhood was very unique. I'm not gonna focus on the dark spots anymore of it. It was good and it was bad. It was great. I never had to suffer. I had a dad that worked. I have a mom that's a nurse. We grew up with everything we wanted. We were princesses. Just, yeah, I'm not gonna talk about that part. So, I grew up always weird. I grew up, of course, in South Louisiana. I knew some of my family were gifted on both sides. My great grandmother was a high priestess. Actually, she trained a few of my aunties. She mentored them on my other side. So they practiced the arts. I always was interested in it. But I was scared to really say because my family felt if you did or you thought about the arts, you were batshit crazy or you part of the devil and they not gonna deal with you. So I kept those thoughts deep. always was interested. I knew I was an empath at a young age. I was weird. I never went with the crowd per se. I was all, just weird. I never, I just really, I had friends, but not not like that until I got in high school. And I felt then I had to fake who I was. So things wasn't easy for me. I always felt like I had to go 2 steps forward and then I go 2 back. So I also never felt love. Um, love and emotion. I didn't grow up that way. Um, Emotion wasn't really talked about in my household. So around the age of 16 and 17, I felt if I do things and give people things, and this went for a long time, that I'll, keep a boyfriend or I get love or just giving myself to people. So when I was 18, I graduated. I went to Houston. I failed in Houston. I came back in like 1998. I went to nursing school in 1999. I graduated. There's I'm just giving y'all the spiritual part of it. So I grew up yeah, I was a nurse now. So when I was in nursing school, nursing came so easy to me. Also at 20 years old, I was very immature. I didn't understand at 20, 21, 22 years old. I had people's lives in my hand. I didn't, you know how you have athletes that are gifted and they just don't work out and they just show up and be like, yo, yeah, I'm here. And then they do their job and people be like, wow, just gifted. So I was just a gifted healer. And I didn't know that I'm a healer. That's why I went so well in nursing school. So I'm thinking how I went through nursing school, I didn't know I had claircognizance. I thought it was a photographic memory or just looking at stuff. No, it was claircognizance. That's how I did so good in nurses, being a nurse. But also I did a lot of immature things. And I was going back to get my RN. My original goal I wanted to do is be a nurse practitioner. That's all I wanted to be, right? Just a nurse practitioner. I wanted my own practice. That's what I wanted to do. And I'm also mixing my foundation up, y'all. I mix my foundation up with an illuminator. So I was in nursing school. I got accepted. I was going to Southern University. I was working as a nurse, working towards my degree, my BSN. And I met this man. I really never had a real like relationship, like ever. I was doing so good, working, making good money. And one night they told me that they didn't need me. It was like, yo, we don't need you today. And I was like, cool, I'm gonna go to the club. So I went to this club and I met this guy. He followed me to my car. I'm not gonna tell you what I told him, but we ended up going to a hotel that night. I really thought about dumping this guy out, like ghosting him. So back in those days, I had a lot of admirers. And what I did was, if I was interested in you, I gave you my cell number. But if I wasn't interested with you, I'll give you my home number. And for some reason, I gave him my for some reason, I gave him, y'all gotta excuse me because I did this last night. That's why it's disheveled. And I just ran because I was running late for the concert. So I met this man, and maybe it's good for me to get this out. So I met this man, went to the hotel, gave him my cell number. I'll never forget it. It was the night of it was the night of LSU. Yeah, let me hurry up. It was the night of LSU national championships, right? So I let this man stay the night, and he never left. We were together for a year. That was the worst year of my life. I aged 10 years in 1 year. I gained 50 something pounds. I have always had a weight problem. I was so unhappy. Then I hurt my back at work. They couldn't find nothing wrong with my back. So they took me and told me I need to go to pain management. Right? This is back in 2005. And they gave you the real perks, the real morphine pills, the real Lortabs, the real muscle relaxer Xanaflex. That started a journey. Once I got into pain management, that started a journey of getting, that started like me seeking out pills and all this other stuff. I took those pills because I was hurting. And I felt if I sleep it away, I don't have to see what he's doing to me. So I start sleeping it away. Then just take kind of medicine and sleep it away. Then one day, my grades suffered. My job performance suffered. I was having trouble with the nursing board. Prior to that, I was already in trouble for sleeping while I was on duty. All that I was in trouble for. I was failing out of nursing school. And one day I lost my job. I flunked out of nursing school. My family wasn't talking to me due to this man. This man was cheating. Well, this man came to me on that day and told me he was leaving. All this happened in one day. Now I'm thinking now that that was God saying, okay, I'm about to exit you and we can do better things. I burnt the bridge. I wanted to off. So I attempted. It didn't happen. The police were involved. They recommended me to leave Baton Rouge and never come back. Go to Houston. Off to Houston I went. Went to Houston. Got my degree. I had to start all over. No more. I lost my nursing. So my resume didn't have no education on it then. So I had to go back to nursing school. I'm sorry, I'm doing this ass backwards. Let's go. Wait, give me a second. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my eyebrows at the same time. So what happened was the guy, I had to start all over. So within the period, I went, got my degree, got my master's, had a child, had a baby daddy. I don't want to go into that. Save some of it for the book. Because this has got to be a book. Okay. So, had a baby, got married, found a man, got married. I really thought I was in love when I got married. I stopped popping pills, but I did never seek treatment for what I did. It was just like we just forgot about it. And I learned my lesson. That's not how healing goes. It's still a cancer. You can mask the cancer as long as you want, but it's still there, right? Oh, by the way, this is my first time ever using this, so we're seeing it. It's doing a little good. So we got married, and I thought I was truly in love. I really did. I really loved that man. And it was not, it was some good times and then it was some bad times. And sometimes we did not know what two toxic people, toxic things happen. I was toxic. He was toxic. I don't want to go into all that. But this man was sleeping around. He was sleeping around big time. I think I know he was. He was cheating. So somehow he meets this woman that works with him. She told me herself. It was 2015. Meets her. But I don't know. She said 2014 or 2015. I don't know. But she said she met him when she was pregnant. So around that time, but that was before, all of a sudden, but what the sad part was, this was the sad part. I got married. The only thing I wanted in my life was a solid career. I wanted like a solid career. I wanted a house, a car, Mercedes Benz, a family, everything I wanted. And especially, I wanted to be that wife for my husband that I saw with my mom. My mom was an RN. She dressed nice. I wanted to be her, right? So I could not find a job. I couldn't find a job. I just couldn't get my legs and start running. I'll get a job and it'll be like part-time or yeah, it just wouldn't last. Partially that was me because I didn't understand I was spiritual. I didn't understand that how to play the game. I just never played the game. I always was against the game. So it never worked. And each year it got worse and worse and worse. Then I got sick. One day I had a bad headache. That bad headache turned out to having me had to learn how to talk, walk, speak, text all over again. I couldn't even text. I did this all alone. I did this without PT. Got myself together. But during this, like I said, that cancer started to come back out. So pills came. I took pills. I had kids, but I was hurting so bad because all I wanted was to be accepted and loved. That's all I wanted. And I'm being vulnerable right now. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. Weird things were happening. I'll get sick and I'll just get sicker. I'll be okay and then I'll just get sicker. My husband threatened to leave me that time. So I stopped. Went cold turkey. but still never sought healing. Never sought healing. Never sought healing. I just went cold turkey for 2 weeks and felt like crap. So we move on, purchase a home. I always felt with a man, they tell me what to do, what they want. I'll do the plan. I didn't understand that was manifestation. I didn't know I was a manifester. I didn't understand all this. So I got in my house. One day I got a call to be the director of healthcare over Head Start of Harris County, over the whole county, run the health department, the health department, but all the Head Starts. I was so excited. They called me. He said they gave me the job. I was like, finally, I can be a wife to my husband. Not knowing that's not love. My husband, as long as my husband knew I was trying, he should have loved me. Because I was trying and I was getting depressed. He wasn't, and I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't the nicest person either. So during this time, I went to my ex. They told me I got the job, and then they told me they made a mistake and called the wrong person. That was happening too much. It was happening so much. Somebody will call me like, you got the job. Oh, but we mean it's part-time. We can't put you on full-time. It's a part-time position. Man, some days I'll just get in darkness. So finally, I turned to my ex and said, all right, I'm gonna build my own company. I'm gonna make my own job. So I started Perseverance, and we built an app called Well Mobile. That app was very big to me. It was an app that you can bring all your nurse practitioners. I actually had X-ray. Like X-ray can come to your house. They do have mobile X-ray companies, and you can get X-rays done mobilely. So I had X-ray, lab, pharmacy, everything coming to your door. Even had an option for you to have dinner delivered to you while you're sick and you got to take care of your kids. All this was on this app, y'all. I didn't understand business. I just went head in. I didn't understand the app costs $100,000. I didn't understand about investment. I didn't know at the time that a Black woman could not get venture capital for health tech. That is unheard of. That is unheard of. That only Black women get invested in it's cosmetics, dealing with hair, dealing with that. But when it gets into the techie tech part, where is disrupting, it doesn't happen. So now when I do see that JP Morgan got frauded on by a white woman, tech thing, I don't feel sorry, because only 1% of Black women get over $1 million venture capital investment. So at the time that I started in 2016, it was only 17 Black women on the list that got investment that went into seed funding for over $1 million. This was 2016. Now it's a little better, but that was 2016. I was unaware of it, but I knew I was going to get it. I mean, like, who has this? You don't need insurance. You can get everything at your home. Even with the pharmacies, I had small pharmacies, because they're losing business with the Walgreens and all this. I had them, and we had contracted rates. I even had people, like, I will pay you 30 days instead of when insurance pay you, it takes 4 to 6 weeks. I will pay you within 29 days, and you will have a set rate, a set contract. So I worked all that out. I wanted to disrupt healthcare. Well, you can't really do that. If you're going to do that, you got to have people behind you. You can't just be off the street. And I didn't know that. So a lot of craziness started to happen. I didn't help it either, because I was taking out a problem. So I was building this app, and I knew I was going to just change the world. And I'll go and present it, and white men wouldn't buy it. As a Black woman presenting, you have to really know your shit. Your pitch deck has to be on point. And at the time, it was getting so bad, I was scared to tell my husband at the time that I wasn't getting invested in. So time was rolling. He was getting aggravated. He was like, maybe you need to put the business on hold and just get a job, or I'll go out and work, just quit with the business. And I'm like, I can't do it. And one day it just went to hell, and it was a fight. And I got hit over the head. I never saw this man before. The police came out. He was arrested the next day. CPS came in the picture. I was still trying to hold on and try to get somebody to get this out. Finally, I was just crying to investors saying, man, I really need this help, y'all. Like, I'm going through a domestic violence situation with my children. I need this help. And really, I was told by investors at the time that it was a negative thing for a Black woman to come in there being emotional. Even my mentor was telling me that. At the time, I did have a mentor. I finally got a mentor. And he was in Austin. And that was a crazy thing about that. Like, I got invited to South by Southwest on my app. And I didn't even have the money to stay in a hotel. The first night, I think I just stayed in my car. And I cried, because I'm like, this gotta go off. Like, how much pain this, God gave me this idea. Why it's not going off? But at that time, that darkness that happened twice came back again. The darkness crept in again. I never was healed. So that darkness, that never was addressed. So it came out again. So when it came out again, I went into a darkness, and it was just like, it was weird. I was unhinged. I was just saying things. I was doing things. It wasn't me. I didn't understand it. And my house was a mess. My kids was it was bad. So my ex-husband came after he got me out the house by calling the constables, and they locked me up. Yeah, they locked me up. So I went and got locked up for it, for 3 days. And when I came back, all my shit was in my car. So I became homeless. I went to a shelter. Started off in Conroe in the shelter. I still didn't. Let me get it right. Before I went to the shelter, yeah, all my stuff was out, and I was still trying to pitch my app. Finally, Sprint, when it was Sprint called me in, and they wanted me. Well, they still Sprint. They wanted me to present, and I presented to them, and they were that was the first time I heard yes. They was like, we like this. Yes. So they said, get it together. We're gonna get you some angel investors. We can back you. At that point, I only had 35 cents. They didn't even know I had 35 cents in my wallet. And they didn't even know. I barely had gas. But before I got there, someone told me to check the mailbox. And it was a notice of a divorce. Well, my ex was trying to do a divorce behind my back. I didn't even know. I wasn't served. I didn't, he was trying to do it like default wise. So when I found that out, and I got that yes from Sprint, that was it. I cracked. I didn't have the strength anymore. And I remember I went to CVS, and I took a bottle of like a bottle of wine, and I plugged it and I drank it all in a parking lot, in Kroger's parking lot. I'll never forget it. Then I drove to my parents' house because I didn't have no more gas. And I collapsed. I had a nervous breakdown. I collapsed in my parents' garage in front of my children and their friends, because my children were staying with my mom and dad by then because I was homeless. And my mom was mad, and my dad was like, we got to bring her in the house. Instead of her grabbing me or saying I love you, she took a camera to take a picture, to maybe for records of me being a not good mother. And my dad put me in bed, and I woke up the next day. And he told me, he said, you're gonna ruin my marriage. I fought your mama to get you in this house. And I said, say no more. I left, and I went and got some help. But I still didn't understand spiritually what was going on. I still didn't go through healing. I didn't understand it. So Went through that. Went through that. Then, after I was released, I went to the shelter. Went through the shelter. With my ways, I ended up with an apartment by the lake in Montgomery County, Texas. That was the best 3 or 4 months. Now, like I said at the beginning of this, I was always interested in psychics. So one day I didn't. That was the first. I got my kids back. Got my kids back on it. It was the first day that I didn't have my kids. So I went to a psychic. So that psychic, that was the first time I ever went. Psychic was like, your ex-husband has a girlfriend, and she put a lot of work on you. And I'm like, yeah, right. Like, but yeah, he does. At that time, he went and had a girlfriend. Now, remember I said he met this chick in 2015, but that's in the past. Okay. So I didn't understand. So I knew she was from the islands. I knew. So I was like, oh, well, maybe she did, and I just laughed it off. And a lot of crazy things was happening. Like it was good until I came back to my ex-husband again when we were starting to co-parent. Even though it hurt me so that what was going on, I just was like, just be for the kids. So it was hard. It really was. And once we started coming back, the darkness came back again. And I remember the darkness started coming in around November of 2019. I was in that apartment. I felt it that time. And that time my hair fell out again. I just went into this deep depression. And the house, everything went crazy again. So I ended up losing that apartment. Like, that was the first time I ever got evicted. I got repoed. I never understood these things because I've never been like this. This is not me. And like, my face was just tore up. So, and then when I went to places, I had to put on makeup because people would really, my skin was just so messed up. So, and I have pictures I really can prove. So when that happened, it just went crazy. Finally, I had to go and let my kids go back to my parents. And finally, that's when my ex-husband got my son. He got him full time. So after that time, I went and got help. I went to Austin, tried to start my life in Austin. Things was going good. I went to a nice rehab. Did what I had to do. I was starting to go off in Austin, trying to do a new life. Went and started to bring my kids in Austin, like, maybe we can start a life in Austin with the kids. So what happened was that I went and took the kids and I had them for the holiday. Then I dropped them back off in Houston and went back to Austin. All of a sudden, I just like how Jaguar Wright says that she had IBS. Crazy, right? So I went to the hospital, and the first hospital turned me down. I'm like, I still don't feel right. something's not right. So the second hospital was like, we need to do emergency surgery on you. So when they did the emergency surgery, apparently a stitch popped on the gallbladder, and all that got in my body, and I ended up having a bad infection. And so when that happened, I was in the hospital for 6 to 8 weeks. I almost died. I almost had to go to ICU. I was in ICU. They asked me, did I want my last rites? It was a Catholic hospital, and I was Catholic at the time. Somehow I lived through that. So left Austin, came back to Houston. Just running around. Right before the pandemic, trying to get my kids back. Trying to get them back. Finally, 2020 came. I got a little up. Got a nice apartment. And I got my daughter back. So when that happened, got my daughter back. And this is the crazy part, y'all. This is the crazy part. I'm not going to speak that part. I'm putting it all together, y'all. So I was homeless for a minute. So I wasn't awakened, y'all. I wasn't spiritually awakened. I wasn't a spiritualist. Didn't understand spirituality. I ended up in that apartment. But the weird part was right before I got in that apartment, I told my ex-husband that I got a deal with my new I was gonna get my company back up, which I was. I left after I told him that. I left Houston and everything changed. All of a sudden, when I got to Baton Rouge, my face, I couldn't even, I'm a makeup artist. I couldn't fix my face. I didn't know what was going on. Come back to Houston. I was moving into my apartment, and I was just sick. When I moved into my apartment, all of a sudden I just started losing weight. I was wasting. I didn't understand that part. I was wasting. And somehow I met with my husband's associate. I shouldn't have did this. Y'all, we're gonna end it right here. I'll do a part 2 because that part it's a lot. That's just the part when spiritual awakening was happening at the same time I was being attacked. And that's another story time for another makeup day. So I hope everything is fine. Y'all have a good day. We're gonna have a part 2.